Alright guys, just recording a bit of a follow-up to my last video where we did a full clear of Orgrimmer's Horrific Vision. That unlocked for us the Faceless Mask of the Long Night. That's actually a pretty difficult mask to run with because it reduces your sanity by 50%. So today we're going to go ahead and get the Mask of the Burned Bridge so that we have something a little bit easier to run with. Basically, we're just going to go back into Orgrimmer with our Mask of the Long Night equipped, and we're going to go over to the Valley of Wisdom and defeat that area while we have this mask equipped, and that'll unlock the new one. Just give you a little preview of the masks here and a look at where we're going. I also have a couple of new weak auras, one of which will help you keep track of the vials throughout the Horrific Vision and what their powers are. It's a bit of a cheat sheet in the weak aura. I'll do a fairly decent pull to the left side here into a building, and inside that building is where the first vial is going to be, and that is our indicator for all the rest of the vials throughout the dungeon. So what we'll do is grab a pull here into this hut. I'll go ahead and burn everything down, and then once it's dead, there's a body here next to me that has a vial by it. He's drank this vial and it killed him, so that's an indicator that that's a bad vial. So we're going to look at the color of that, and if you just type it into your Say chat in all lowercase letters with this weak aura that I have, it'll bring up a little chart on the left hand side just above my Friar Joe banner right there, and that will give you an indication of what the vials are good for and what they'll do for you. Just running throughout, it's just a bit of a cheat sheet there. So a couple more pulls and we'll go up the hill here, and then we'll be into the Valley of Wisdom where we're going to actually earn the Mask of the Burned Bridge. I do recommend opening those chests anytime they're handy. Later on, when you're really just farming for the currency, the chests seem to be very, very profitable for that. Facing this little mini boss just as we did before, we're going to try to avoid his charge and his divine star-like ability that goes out and back. Also, we have the parasites that you need to jump to shake off. Just clean the rest of the trash up here, and then I'm going to skip this first area, going straight for the Valley of Wisdom because that's what we're after. And as you can see, my sanity drops very quickly with this Mask of the Long Night on. So in this zone, just like earlier this week, we had split personality. When your screen starts to go purple, you'll get a ring around you. They will leave one direction for you to escape from. If you can either stand still or slip out, you'll be fine. Now I am to the point where I'm going to have to go ahead and use my first orb here. So we get that orb down. Actually, I thought I would be able to pull these guys back to this orb and fight them, but that didn't work out with the caster, so I just go back and get my sanity filled up so I can charge in and fight. It takes me nearly everything I have just to get through this one zone with this Mask of the Long Night on it. It definitely increases the difficulty substantially. Split personality here again, and much better than the last time I was in here. I'm doing a better job of not walking into everything. we'll continue on here. Just pushing through. Being mindful of the split personality. Try not to get stunned by walking into that. As you can see, my sanity is getting really low again. I'm going to go ahead and do another orb. This faceless mask of the Long Night really increases the difficulty of doing these harder zones. And that's why we're trucking through to get a new one. So this guide will actually stand, even though, by the time this is actually airs, we'll be back to Stormwind, because you can only get the Mask of the Burned Bridge from the Valley of Wisdom in Orgrimmar, regardless. You can't get it during the Stormwind week at all. So unfortunately, this will be going up after the reset, and most of you all have to wait another week before this will be of much use. But I'm just trying to get the guides out there, show you what this looks like, what we're after, what you can do in these different zones. So hopefully next week you'll have an easier mask, so when you come back in here to get your Mask of the Burned Bridge, it won't be as difficult as what I'm experiencing. Using my final orb here to pull this mini boss. Still one more boss for this zone before I'll complete it. Just avoid the leap there. Being able to fight him in this orb is a huge advantage, though. Get him almost down before I lose any sanity at all. And on to the big boy. So the big boy has a very narrow frontal cone ability that leaves a path of void until he's dead. So it's indefinite. It's always going to be there. You have to just dodge it. Just sidestep that. Then he'll pop up some void orbs. Ideally, you want to back out a little bit and dodge these void orbs in a similar fashion that you would do the barrages on the first boss in the Eternal Palace. But I really had a rough time with it this time. Just about everything hit me, I think. But I do manage to pull it off. Through all these ads. Sanity's getting super duper low, but the boss is down. Finish the trash off, and then I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and go over and get Thrall, just to see if I can. I've already completed the requirement for the mask, more or less done at this point, so very little risk, but killing that boss does give me 200 sanity back. So pop over here and see what we can do with Mr. Thrall. Now, because that's the only side boss I killed, that's the only extra ability that Thrall is going to get right now. I'm just looking to see if I can grab one of those potions, maybe pop my sanity up a little bit. I'm obviously very low, so we'll get through these guards here. Right here by the door, just as I'm about to go in, I see just what I want. Grab that, and I get a nice little pop of sanity. Filled me all the way up. Only having half my sanity means I only have 500 to start with, so that's kind of a big deal. And so he's going to do all of his normal abilities, plus that frontal cone ability from that mini boss. Not really a big deal. We're just going to sidestep that and dance out his other abilities like we normally would. Huge benefit, I think, also to being in here solo is the smaller health pools allow you to burn through these guys a lot quicker. So that makes it nice. And let's see if we can finish him here. Actually doing much better with my sanity than I was on the mini boss. Thrall's not quite as bad. And there we go, all done. Now we have the Mask of the Burned Bridge to use moving forward. It'll be a lot easier to manage that than using the Mask of the Long Night. So that's going to be a big advantage to us.